What would you do if you found yourself face to face with a serial killer? For a select few, this nightmare became a reality, but against all odds, they managed to break free. In this video, we share the incredible survival stories of victims who narrowly escaped death at the hands of some of the world's most notorious serial killers. Here are 7 victims who escaped a serial killer. Number 1. Lisa McVeigh. In November 1984, 17-year-old Lisa McVeigh was abducted by serial killer Bobby Joe Long while riding her bike home from work in Tampa, Florida. Over the next 26 hours, McVeigh endured repeated sexual assaults and brutality, but remained mentally strong and observant. She deliberately left fingerprints and gathered details about her captor and surroundings. McVeigh used psychological tactics to humanize herself to Long, including fabricating a story about caring for a sick father. Her approach worked, and Long eventually released her. After her escape, McVeigh provided police with crucial information that led to Long's arrest just 12 days later. Her detailed recollections included descriptions of his car, apartment, and physical features. McVeigh's testimony was instrumental in Long's conviction for multiple murders and sexual assaults. Her incredible survival and role in capturing a serial killer inspired McVeigh to later become a sheriff's deputy specializing in sex crimes and to work as a motivational speaker sharing her story of resilience. Number 2. Kara Robinson. On June 24, 2002, 15-year-old Kara Robinson Chamberlain was abducted by serial killer Richard Evonitz from a friend's front yard in Columbia, South Carolina. Evonitz forced her into a storage bin in his car at gunpoint and took her to his apartment, where he repeatedly raped and assaulted her over 18 hours. Despite the trauma, Chamberlain remained calm and observant, memorizing details of Evonitz's apartment, car, and appearance. When Evonitz fell asleep, Chamberlain managed to free herself from the restraints and escaped, running to a nearby car dealership for help. Her detailed recollection of information led police directly to Evonitz's apartment, though he had already fled. Chamberlain's escape and testimony not only saved her life but also provided crucial evidence linking Evonitz to the unsolved murders of 3 girls in Virginia: Sophia Silva, Cody Silva, and Kristen Lisk. Evonitz later committed suicide during a police chase in Florida. Chamberlain's bravery and quick thinking were instrumental in solving multiple cold cases and bringing closure to the victims' families. She received $150,000 in reward money and later became an advocate for other survivors, sharing her story to inspire and educate others about survival and resilience. Number 3. Crystal Searles. On December 31, 1999, 10-year-old Crystal Searles was staying at her friend Katie Harris' home in Del Rio, Texas when serial killer Tommy Lynn Sells broke in. Sells brutally murdered 13-year-old Katie, stabbing her multiple times and slashing her throat. He then attacked Crystal, slicing her throat and leaving her for dead. Despite her severe injuries, including a severed trachea, Crystal played dead until Sells left. She then managed to walk a quarter mile to a neighbor's house for help, communicating through written notes due to her throat injury. Crystal's survival and detailed description of the attacker were crucial in Sells' capture just days later. She bravely testified against him in court, leading to his conviction and death sentence. Thank you for making it this far. Please like and subscribe. Number 4. Shasta Groney. In May 2005, 8-year-old Shasta Groney survived a horrific attack by serial killer Joseph Edward Duncan III in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Duncan broke into the Groney family home, murdering Shasta's mother Brenda, her boyfriend Mark McKenzie, and her 13-year-old brother Slade. Duncan then kidnapped Shasta and her 9-year-old brother Dylan, subjecting them to weeks of torture and sexual abuse. After killing Dylan, Duncan kept Shasta captive for a total of 7 weeks before taking her to a Denny's restaurant in Coeur d'Alene. There, alert staff and customers recognized Shasta from media reports and called the police, leading to her rescue and Duncan's arrest on July 2, 2005. Shasta's detailed recollections were crucial in convicting Duncan of multiple murders and crimes. Her incredible survival and bravery in the face of unimaginable trauma helped bring Duncan to justice. Number 5. Elizabeth Smart. Elizabeth Smart, then 14 years old, was abducted from her Salt Lake City home on June 5, 2002, by Brian David Mitchell, a self-proclaimed religious preacher. For 9 months, Smart was held captive by Mitchell and his wife, Wanda Barzee, enduring repeated sexual assaults, forced drug and alcohol consumption, and psychological manipulation. Despite being taken to public places disguised in robes and veils, Smart remained undetected. She was forced to marry Mitchell in a mock ceremony and was told her family would be harmed if she tried to escape. Smart's ordeal ended on March 12, 2003, when she was recognized and rescued in Sandy, Utah, about 18 miles from her home. Her captors were arrested, and Mitchell is now serving a life sentence. Number 6. J.C. Dugard. J.C. Dugard survived an 18-year ordeal of captivity and abuse at the hands of Philip and Nancy Garrido. Abducted at age 11 on June 10, 1991, in South Lake Tahoe, California, Dugard was held in a hidden compound behind the Garridos' home in Antioch. During her captivity, she was repeatedly raped by Philip Garrido and gave birth to 2 daughters at ages 14 and 17. Dugard was forced to live in tents and sheds, isolated from the outside world. Her rescue came in August 2009 when Philip Garrido's strange behavior with 2 young girls at UC Berkeley campus raised suspicions. This led to a parole officer meeting where Dugard finally revealed her true identity. The Garridos were arrested, with Philip sentenced to 431 years to life and Nancy to 36 years to life in prison. Since her rescue, Dugard has written a memoir, become an advocate for survivors, and worked to rebuild her life and care for her daughters. Number 7. Tiffany Taylor. In November 2016, Tiffany Taylor, a 34-year-old sex worker from New Jersey, narrowly escaped serial killer Khalil Wheeler Weaver. Taylor had initially planned to rob Wheeler Weaver but found herself handcuffed, sexually assaulted, and strangled in the back of his car. Despite the dire situation, Taylor's survival instincts kicked in. She convinced Wheeler Weaver to loosen her handcuffs and cleverly talked her way out of the situation by reminding him that their conversation was stored on her phone at a nearby motel. This quick thinking led Wheeler Weaver to drive her back to the motel, where she managed to escape into her room and lock him out. Despite having clear evidence of the attack, including handcuffs still on her wrist, local police initially dismissed her claims and even threatened to arrest her for prostitution. Undeterred, Taylor bypassed the police and went directly to the Essex County prosecutor. Her testimony was crucial in convicting Wheeler Weaver of multiple murders and assaults. Taylor's escape and persistence in seeking justice likely prevented Wheeler Weaver from claiming more victims and highlighted the challenges faced by marginalized individuals when reporting crimes. Surviving a serial killer's attack is something no one should ever have to face, yet these brave individuals lived to tell their story. Their courage and determination not only helped them escape but also made a lasting impact on the world. If you found these survival stories as inspiring as we did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with others. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.